Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachange. I'm a beauty and product photographer and retoucher based in the UK, and today I have for you an amazing product photography tutorial. You should be prepared for all the details you need to know and do and use to get these kind of results. Currently it's 11:30 at night, so let's crack on, so I'm not here till the morning. Here is what you'll need: a tripod. I'm using my trusted K&F Concept 211. Camera. I'm using my Canon 7D Mark II, but any camera will do for this matter. Lens. I will be using my Sigma 105mm macro lens. This awesome RGB light from iVisi, it's a G2 version. Of course you'll need our products. Black glove and tape, because tape is always useful. For our base we'll be using black acrylic board, but don't worry if you don't have acrylic board, you can use a black sheet of paper, and the middle part of the picture frame, that is the glass or the clear plastic on top. If you're feeling fancy, you can use these little props as well, and we'll be also using some homemade flags and cards. Don't worry, everything I was listing off is down in the descriptions, including this table. I already had some questions on some of my other videos because I use this table for models to, pose and do some stuff. So this is the table, links in the description. So I will use this black glossy acrylic board, so we create some nice reflections and there as well, bringing in the products. This one's a little bit damaged because when I was testing it, I dropped it on the floor. So yeah, always make sure you have at least two. Always when you are doing product photography, I would definitely recommend using a tripod. You never know when you will need to composite some images, and having it on tripod locked in, that just makes your life much easier. So that's ready behind me. Now it's time to set up the camera. Let me just turn it on first. And what we have here. So we need to change all these settings because this is not what we're going to use. So first let's go for the f-stop. Let's go down to about 3.5 because I want to have the background blurred and only the product to be sharp. So 3.5 on the f-stop. We can keep the ISO on 100, and let's go for the time. We'll go down to about, let's do 4 seconds. So 4 seconds time, 3.5 aperture, 100 ISO. That's all set up and ready to go. Tethering to my iPad as well. If you want to know how I tether to my iPad, I will link the video here and also in the description, so you can go watch it because I already made a tutorial about that. So I won't waste time with that today. Let's set up the light and start shooting finally. Now the main hero of this whole video and why I was able to create images like that is this little fella. And I need to say this is not sponsored, but I have been sent these lights by the company and I've been testing them for the past couple of weeks and I can 100% say they are amazing. I already have one right here doing the blue thingy in the background. Cool for videos. So this is the light, it has a little handle and also comes with a tripod, which is so handy. I mean, these tripods are not only good for the light but also for all sorts of things. Look how cute. So we'll be using this. It has so many modes and the brightness of this is just insane. It can go, I mean, this is 100%. Probably shouldn't be putting that on you. This is 100% bright. You can change the temperature as well. Oh, this is so unflattering, I guess. But yeah, just so you can see. But also has these like RGB modes, which is so cool. And you can go really crazy with that and change the color, less saturated, more saturated, whatever you want. So it's perfect for this kind of image and for lighting back your YouTube videos or whatever you need. I want to go make it different color. We'll probably go for kind of like golden. Yeah, this kind of gold. And I will actually go to all the way to 1%, so it's like very, very subtle. One more thing before we start, it's best if you wear all black clothes, long sleeves, so I have to pop on my sweater, and also wear a black glove, because this is going to be long exposure. As you know, we set the time for 4 seconds, so it will catch everything. So you need to make sure there's nothing to spoil the picture. So that's that. Let me pop on the sweater. Nice. Also, if you're wearing a digital watch, make sure it's not coming on, so either take it off or have it on the other hand. Alrighty. Before we move on to the picture, just double check we have sharp image. So I'll be using manual focus to focus on the lipstick and lock it there so nothing will be moving. Everything's ready? I think it's time to turn off the light. Boy, it's really dark in here, isn't it? Okay. Light here. Ooh. Let me crank this up a little bit more. The idea is to press the shutter, do some magic with the light, and see what it looks like. Let's set this back to 1%. And let's go. Let's do a few creative ones, and then we will do a separate one to light up the product, and then we'll put it all together back in Photoshop. I'll try to change this color as I go. Oh wow, that's some crazy stuff. Let's do more. Okay, cool. Now let's change the light back onto white. Let's stay on the 1%, and we can expose the one on the side. Just a little bit because it's quite bright. I actually need to put my camera on a timer here because I'm getting a little shake. So I put it on 2-second timer. That's better. There you go. That's the highlight there. Love it. Perfect. So we can combine all these in Photoshop later. Keep going. Just a few sweeps like that. Alright, let's put this bad boy back on. Oof. What I want to do now is use those little things, those little flags, and they are just cut out from just black piece of paper. And I will actually, where's the light? They are cut out in exact shape as the light. And I'll just place it in front, and it will just show me this little hole. Yeah, so let's just tape it on. I need to crank on the brightness. I'm going to 10% this time because there is only small little hole, so we need the light to be brighter to actually do something. And let's shoot. I'm gonna use one of those modes that are here. There is one. Okay, so RGB slow or fast. And I'm actually gonna use this RGB fast, so it kind of just changes the color on its own. And we'll do some magic with that. So I'm just gonna hide the light, press the shutter, and do some movements. Alright, I think it's time to change the setup a little bit. So here's just the black paper, and I will place the middle part of a picture frame on top of it. So we also get some gloss effects, because if it's only on the matte. I mean, I can show you what that looks like. Because we're playing with long exposure and with the light trails and everything, it just looks better if the reflection is there. So here's how it looks just with the black paper. And here is how it looks with the black paper and the acrylic, so the glass or clear acrylic on top of that. And I want to use one more of the handmade card. This time it's just kind of like covering only quarter of the light. This is super handy, you can really turn it into whatever. And no need to worry about taping stuff because it doesn't get hot. I don't know, they have some super cool technology. So even when my video light is on, when I'm doing YouTube videos, it's on for hours because I'm recording and re-recording. And never gets hot. So cool. Okay, let me turn the color back to orange because that was my original idea and I think I'll just stick with that, you know? It's 1% on the power and 50 and 50. I think we can turn this off again and start shooting. Let's make an X. Okay, that's not an X. Because it's a Max Factor, the brand, and they have the X on the lipstick, so I want to make X in the background as well with the light, if I manage. Let's bring in these props. That'll be so cool. So these are acrylic. I got them off AliExpress, I think. Link is in the description, so you can go check it out. They have different kind of sizes and heights and widths and all that stuff. I think I just wanna like use it here to create some kind of podium, something like that. For this lovely lipstick, let's just make sure we don't have any prints on. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I will be doing some motions around here, but for it to work I have to turn off the light, so I'll see you soon. Let's go with this white color this time for like a little more futuristic look. Okay, I will pop in back the filter that I've made with the one little hole, and let's do a little more of those light trails because I think it's gonna look so cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that! You see how the light's reflecting through those acrylic props? I love these. Just put this bad boy back on. Oof, that's not very good for my eyes. Yeah, I think I have enough of the pictures. I could spend hours and hours to be here and play around with the lights and everything because you get such a different results, and especially when you're using like different modes of the light. Either it's changing into color on its own, or you can change it as you go, or if you're using these like little handmade stuff that I created, you get even more. Let's imagine we put 3 holes here, it would be even better probably. So you should definitely try it out yourself. If you want to get these lights, there is a link in the description, and there's also 10% off code for you if you use code VERACHANGE at checkout, if you manage to buy the light within 2 months of publishing this video, of course. So That's a limited time offer, I would say. So yeah, there we go. Let's jump into Capture One, see what we got. Let's stitch a few images together real quick in Photoshop, and we'll be done for tonight. So here is what I have. I picked, 50 images from 120 that I took today, and I love them. It just looks so good. So let's just stitch a few of them up real quick in Photoshop, and I will show you like super simple way how we can do this. So let's work on these X images. So I want this one stitched together with highlight from this side and highlight from this side. So let's click on all of them, open them in Photoshop, and we'll see what we have. Okay, perfect. We are in Photoshop, all is here. Now it's time to take the highlights from these pictures and put them on this picture. So let's do this by very simple method. Because we are all on a black and we only want to select highlights, we can go to select and color range and click the black color, so the black background. We can zoom in a little bit to see what we have selected. We can adjust the fuzziness a little bit. I'll probably go something soft like 130 for this. Let's hit OK. That will give us a selection. We then need to click on any selection tools, for example lasso, right click on the selection, and because we have selected blacks, we need to now invert the selection. So let's go select inverse and then click again and layer via copy. Now we have our highlights on a separate layer that we can now take and insert to the other picture. Now before we do that, let's do the very same thing with this highlight from the other side. So again, select and color range. Settings shouldn't change too much, but we can just double check how the selection looks like. Looks great. Hit OK, and again right click, select inverse, right click, layer via copy. And now we have all our highlights extracted from these dark images. Let's grab the layer and move it over here. Before you let go, hold Shift on your keyboard. That should put it in the right spot. Probably if there was any camera shake or anything like that, or if your tripod moved a little bit, you might need to adjust this. So we'll have a look at that in a second. First, let's grab the other highlight as well. Do the very same thing, Shift. There you go. Now let's zoom in. See how far off we are. This one looks good, but this one is a little bit off. So let's just grab our move tool and put it back into place. And this one should also be a little lower. There you go. You can take your time with this, but I'm just doing this real quick to show you. So you don't have to spend hours on masking. You could if you wanted, but this is just a very quick way to do so. Okay, it looks pretty good. You can refine the edge of the mask if you put mask on top of that layer, and then you can go with your brush around the edges to make it perfect. But this is pretty much all you need to do, really. It looks amazing if you ask me. We can do some cropping, we can do some more of the adjustments. So I won't do that just in a Capture One real quick. So let's hit save here. That will save us the image back into Capture One. And back in the Capture One, the image is already here. So this was before and this is after. Pretty dramatic difference, isn't it? But what we can do just real quick to make it a little bit better, we can bring out exposure a little bit, maybe contrast. Let's have a look at the colors. Maybe we can change this to a little bit more gold. That looks pretty good. You can also adjust the reds to give them a little more pop. Okay, let's crop it and we are good to go. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't like how strong the shadow here is, so let's just go back to Photoshop real quick and add a mask on this whole reflection. We can either put these two together and just take down the highlight by clicking on both the layers, pressing Command or Control G to create a group, place a mask on that group, and with our black brush we can just slightly tone that down. But if this is not what you are looking for, if you're looking to bring the whole reflection down a little bit, we can just undo this. Let's create a solid color adjustment here. It doesn't need to be black, or better if you select from the image. Let's hit OK here. And now if we invert the mask, Command or Control I, so we can see what's going on. Grab our gradient tool here, and let's just do a little gradient. Like so, maybe it looks pretty good. Or you can do one more thing, and that would be, for example, polygonal lasso. Let's say we can select the picture. This bottom part, and we can create another solid color adjustment here. Again, let's just sample the color from the picture. Let's hit OK, bring this down. We can go to Properties and Feather. So we can feather the selection. Just go a little bit more so we don't have any sharp line here. Well, that looks pretty good. So 60 pixels. And then we can also extract bottom part of the lipstick. So we need to go on a black brush and just make sure we are not including that in our selection. That looks pretty good. Here's save, and we'll be back in Capture One with updated version. And there you go. So that's it. I'll now go work on the rest. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you liked the images that I've created today. If you do, and if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the little notification bell as well so you don't miss any future uploads, and I will see you next time. Bye!